How did you not so-called disappear? Like, cause that's a fight.
Cause, you know, cause I'm God. And anyone that disagree, I'm the God of me, and you can't tell me who I am. I can't tell y'all. I could tell y'all. It's y'all job to listen. I'm the God of me. I don't know if I'm in heaven already. I got number one from that. For all you know, I might be on like a fourth dimension version of the lifestyle. You know, I don't know. Like I said, I must have died in this accident. This must be heaven.
The Kanye West Big Boy interview showed me how much the word of faith influence had on him during his radical journey into Christianity and his subsequent Sunday service movement starting back in 2019. Polarizing conversations sparked concerning the authenticity of his conversion, oftentimes revolving around the subject of whether it was authentic or simply just another publicity stunt. In his interview with Big Boy, it was revealed how there were conversations with him and Ty Dolla Sign of Sunday services and making rap content with Jesus as the subject long before it became public.
Hey man, we sat down at one of your spots and I showed you a video and I said, yeah, I said, I think this was from 10 years ago. And we were watching it live and it was like, it was you talking about where you were going to be in 10 years from now, Jesus is king. And we're sitting there literally in that area, what you were talking about 10 years later. It was exactly what you said 10 years before.
Said to me, bro, even if I thought that was crazy, he made that happen.
Does one plan a conversion to Christianity long before it occurs and then use the conversion for his financial benefit? When making a deal with deception, nothing is off the table. Without directly diagnosing, there are glaring characteristics and tendencies of schizotypal personality disorder, oftentimes shown by Kanye West. And many of his mannerisms in interviews, particularly this one, odd and eccentric behavior.
Ain't nobody finna tell me, tell nobody around me, play with nobody around me. None of that. It's straight from Pink Polo. I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm the lawyer from Carlito's Way. I'm fried at this point. Every label, every contract, any type of phone calls, we number one. It's everybody, you better not bring your around.
Usual behaviors such as incoherent speech and magical beliefs, and the unrecognition or even denial of these behaviors being prevalent are just a few signs of someone possibly having STPD. If untreated, these magical thoughts can become even more intensified and behavior gets even more worse than before. An example of those behaviors is stating that one is a god and the reasoning behind such a bold and lofty claim. Speaking of bold and lofty claim of being a god, adherents of the Word of Faith movement have been perpetuating this claim for decades, from Kenneth Hagin stating, "You are as much the incarnation of God as Jesus Christ was," to Kenneth Copeland stating,
"When I read in the Bible where he says, I am, I just smile and say, yes, I am too."
To Paul Crouch stating,
"Do you know what else that has settled then tonight? This hue and cry and controversy that has been spawned by the devil to try and bring dissension within the body of Christ, that we're gods. I am a little God.
Yes. Yes.
I have his name. I'm one with him. I'm in covenant relation. Yeah. I am a little God."
Benny Hinn stating,
"You know who you are? Turn to Psalm 82. This is going to blow your mind real good. Psalm 82:1. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty." That's you. "He judgeth among the" what? Now would you please listen to me? This is talking about you. He's telling the gods. Who are the gods? You are. Say, I never heard that. Let me ask you this. Hello, you. Are you God's offspring? Then you're not human.
Paula White stating,
"You tap into who you really are. You know what the Bible calls you? It says you are little Elohim. You are a little God.
Creflo Dollar stating,
and if God now produces man and everything produces after its own kind, if horses get together, they produce what? And if dogs get together, they produce what? If cats get together, they produce what? But if the Godhead gets together and say, let us make man, then what are they producing? They're producing gods. Now, I got to hit this thing real hard in the very beginning because I ain't got time to go through all this. But I'm going to say to you right now, you are gods, little g. You are gods because you came from God and you are gods. You're not just human. The only human part about you is this physical body that you live in.
To Joyce Meyer stating,
you know, why do people have such a fit about God calling his creation, his man, not his whole creation, but his man, little gods? If he's God, what's he going to call them but the God kind? I mean, if you as a human being have a baby, you call it a human kind. If cattle has another cattle, they call it cattle kind. So, I mean, what's God supposed to call us? Doesn't the Bible say we're created in his image?
why wouldn't someone in the music industry whose worth and identity is wrapped up in power, money, and fame latch on the form of Christianity that is not uphold to what Jesus said to his disciples in Matthew 10:39? If you cling to your life, you will lose it. But if you give your life up for me, you will find it. Kanye's immediate affiliation with the Word of Faith adherents such as Joel Osteen.
Excuse me, brother. I go into these streams of consciousness when I'm talking, and when you're speaking in the middle of it, it distracts me. I really appreciate the support, but I would like for everybody to be completely silent so I can let God flow through me as I speak to you guys today.
Jamal Bryant and I.V. Hilliard, following his conversion, was a recipe for disaster and antithetical to Jesus' instructions to his disciples in Matthew 10. Instead, the Christianity that many Word of Faith leaders promote makes God a genie in a bottle and increases power, money, and fame, being akin to answered prayers. When Kanye did not receive what he wanted, when he wanted, how he wanted, he felt as if God was not with him. So, as a result, he left his worldview to revert back to someone he can have control over, which is himself, and massage his cognitive dissonance by calling himself a god, just like Word of Faith adherents do. The Kanye interview with Big Boy just showed me that he aligned himself with Word of Faith leaders, looked in the Word of Faith playbook, was not impressed with the speed of these manifestations he spoke into existence, and bowed out. Unfortunately, this is the same story as many other Word of Faith prosperity gospel adherents who have now become atheists or agnostic or now pledge their allegiance to another religious worldview. This interview also left many questioning whether his conversion was genuine in the first place and how he can say such blasphemous things about the God that he so radically changed his lifestyle for just a few years ago, at least according to his interviews during that time.
Now that God has called me and I now have given my life to Jesus Christ and I work for God. Now we have Christian innovation in our time.
To me, it is just another case of how dangerous the Word of Faith movement is and how a mentality of believing you are a God eventually leads you to not even needing the true and living, only wise God. If left to myself, I'd be a terrible God. So I'll just yield to God and let him lead. That way I'm rest assured that my desires are from the one who created them. Have fun being your own God. Let me know how that works out for you. In the meantime, I'll be praying for you.